Did you know that access to abortion services is a religious requirement for Jews who can become pregnant and has been for thousands of years?
You asked me to debunk this video, so I did. Hi, I'm Rob Morty. I debunk videos that need to be debunked. So, what can we see? Now, I will say this. There is no blanket prohibition against abortion in Judaism. There is the allowance for abortion, obviously, in the case of the mother's life endangerment. And also, there is some authorities that state whether or not the quality of life of an infant that's going to be born with severe developmental disabilities. Other than that, there really isn't allowance for abortion in Judaism because the Torah considers the unborn child a life. And I'll prove it. But let's hear what he has to say.
We're going to start with Exodus 21:22, a verse which is radically misread.
Including by you, radically misread by you.
It says, when two or more parties are fighting and one of them accidentally pushes a pregnant person.
A pregnant person? Rabbi, I already know where you stand. It's not a pregnant person. It's a pregnant woman. If you can't even say that it's a pregnant woman because now it's a person and men also could get pregnant, I already know how you're reading this pasuk. But continue.
And there is a miscarriage.
No, that's not what the verse says. It doesn't say miscarriage. It says the child comes out. The Torah calls it a child. It could have called it a lot of other things, like fruit of the womb or fetus, like it does in other places. However, it calls it a child. And it says the child comes out. The Torah is already calling it a child. It doesn't say miscarriage. And those of you who love the Septuagint, it also calls it a child. And it also says that it comes out, does not use the word miscarriage. And it says, when it says there's no fatality, it says that it comes out not fully formed, which means it is a child and it's alive. It may have developmental disabilities, but it is born alive. Continue.
Then there is a financial penalty that is exacted.
It's not a financial penalty. The verse is clear. They shall surely be punished by the assessors. It's true, there has to be an assessment done, but it's a punishment, not a civil penalty.
However, if they were to lose their life, and we get this in the very next verse, it says, then the penalty is a life for a life.
Meaning, if the child comes out and lost its life, if the child is stillborn, then there is life for a life, not the mother. We're not talking about the mother. We have plenty of other verses to teach us that if it's a purposeful murder, they go and get the death penalty. If it's manslaughter, they get the death penalty. If it's accidental, they go to exile. We know that. The Torah doesn't need to tell us about the mother. The Torah is telling us about the child.
In the Talmud, Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi is quoted as saying that a pregnancy is the equivalent of the thigh.
Did you even open up the Talmud to see what it's talking about? It's referring to a woman that is converting to Judaism. So it's an appendage of her. If she converts while pregnant, the child will be born Jewish, even though it was conceived while she was still not Jewish, but she converts and the child is in utero, then the child will be born Jewish. That's what it's talking about. It's not telling you that it's merely part of her, like in the American sense of my body, my choice. That's not what the Talmud's talking about at all.
The rabbis of the Mishnah in the year 200 make it clear that if someone is pregnant and they are set to get the death penalty, and by the way, rabbinic tradition gets rid of the death penalty eventually, but if they are set to get the death penalty and they are pregnant, unless they're actively in labor, you don't wait for the execution.
Again, you have to know what the Talmud is talking about. The Talmud is talking about a case where a woman stepped out in a marriage and was with another man. And the verse says that they both die. So the rabbis learn out that the married woman and this other man both die, and it includes even if they conceived a child. The Talmud talks about the end of our verse that says that the husband has a right to the child. He could demand, or he should be able to demand, that the woman stay her execution until she gives birth, because the child belongs to him, even though it wasn't conceived through him. But the Torah is clear that the husband has a right over this child, and then they can execute her. And the Talmud says, the Mishnah is coming to say that this verse shows that even though the husband has a right of the child, in this situation, the woman is executed even if she's pregnant, and the husband cannot stay the execution.
Mishnah Olot 7:6, and this is going to get graphic. I apologize if the pregnant person, if there's issues and complications during birth, if their life is in danger, that you tear the fetus out limb by limb, it says, if necessary, in order to save the life of the person.
Yes, the Mishnah Olos does say that if the mother's life is in danger, you can abort the child. And the Mishnah continues to say, if you read another line, that if the child is being born, you do not abort the child, do partial birth abortion on that child. Because who says that the mother's life is more important than the child's life?
The rabbinic tradition, the Jewish tradition, really for a very, very long time, has understood life in a much more holistic sense, their quality of life. If someone, God forbid, is pregnant from sexual violence, if someone is pregnant at an age where it doesn't work for them, right? If someone is too old, if someone isn't in a position in life where they can reasonably take care of a child, where it makes sense, if someone already has children, but really can't afford more children, which is a huge percentage of the people who choose to have abortions fall into that situation. It's worth noting. All of those rabbinic traditions from across the various movements, Reformed, Conservative, and Orthodox, have at various times in various ways understood to be really valid, important, personal, private reasons why someone may choose to get an abortion.
That is completely false. I can't speak to Reform and Conservative, but Orthodox, for financial reasons, because they already have children, there is no source. Again, there's limited sources, and again, limited for if the mother is severely mentally ill, or there's going to be severe mental deformities to the unborn child. But for financial reason, or even because of grape, show me a source. Show me a source in Orthodox tradition, because I have not found any of those sources. For the safety of the mother and other considerations we talked about, there is the ability, and it's a case-by-case basis. There's no blanket right for the mother to choose, and there's no blanket right to have such services. And there you go. Any questions? Let me know.